Hi guys, welcome to Taste to Explore. My name is Darlene and today I got you a classic recipe. We are making hash browns. So easy, so delicious. Anyway, let's walk over to the ingredients so we can get started. Alright, now let's get started. We have 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. We have salt and pepper and garlic, that's 1 teaspoon each. I have an egg white, which I used 1 large egg, and 1 medium onion. And alright, and right here we have about 8 small russet potatoes. Because my potatoes are small, I chose to use a little bit more. Now if you have some big russet potatoes, I would say 2 to 3, or depending how much you want to make. But because they're small, I decided just to use a few extra. And then that's it. And it's really basic, it's really easy, and it's so delicious. You can have it for breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, whenever you decide you want to have hash browns. Alright, so now let's get right. So I'm using my box grater for this, and I'm going to use the larger blades, and we're just going to grate away until all these potatoes are grated up. Alright, so this is my last little piece. Please be careful when you're using these box graters, because if you have ever gotten your fingers or your knuckles scraped down, it's quite annoying, that pain. Alright, so here we have it. Just making sure I got all my potato shreds. Alright. Okay, oh, got a little bit more. You don't want to waste nothing. Okay, so this is what we're going to do next. Now, to the bowl I have here is just some fresh water. Just use any large bowl you have and just pour in fresh water. It doesn't have to, well, obviously you don't want hot water because you're going to be touching it. Just nice, fresh, cold water. That's all you need. And right now, we're going to put this right in here. And the main part of this is, you see how it's starting to get cloudy? We need our potatoes to get rid of its natural starch, because the starch is what's not going to give the potatoes the crunchiness that we love and desire in a hash brown. Alright, so we're going to allow this to sit here for 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, it's getting darkened. All the starch is being released. And that's what we want to ensure that our hash browns become crispy and brown, just the way you love them to be. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. And once it's time for me to remove the water, you're going to need a mesh like this, a strainer, a fine mesh strainer, so that way the little grains don't, sneak in, in between. And once we do that, then I'm going to show you what to do. Alright guys, so I'm just pressing down to make sure all the water is being released. So a little bit of water came out. So you just want to really make sure that there is no water. So you're just going to want to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So take a piece at a time and squeeze it out. And once you feel like everything is out, you're going to put it in your clean bowl. And I'm going to continue this until all this is done. Alright guys, so I finished squeezing out all the liquid from my potatoes, and look how much rendered out. So you have to be really careful and take out as much as possible. Alright, so now we're going to grate in my 1 small little onion, and this is just going to give it flavor and deliciousness. So this one, if you don't have one of these microplanes, you can use a box grater on the fine side. You can use that just as well too. But since I have this, I'm going to use this. And I'm going to be right back when this is all done. And that is it. And And look at all that goodness we're gonna let out here. And let me tell you, I did cry. No, I didn't cry, but I am so sensitive to onion, and I'm sure everybody is, but I can't. I had to pause and wipe my eyes because they were burning. So I warn you, be careful, because onions is no joke if you're just as sensitive as I am. So right now I'm just gonna mix it with my hands, and we are ready to go on to the next phase. Okay guys, so now let's begin seasoning our potatoes. So right now we're gonna put the 1 tablespoon of the flour and the salt, because you know potatoes need salt, they need flavor. Our black pepper, and you can pretty much season this with whatever you got. You know, you got some adobo, put adobo in there, honey, ain't nothing wrong with that. And garlic powder. This is just a basic standard version. Later on, of course, I'm going to bring you other variations, but right now I bring to you something quite simple. As I'm going to mix this through, I also have a pan here heating up some oil. Now as you can see, it's not very much oil. It's not to deep fry it. It's just like a shallow frying, if you will. Alright guys, so now I'm using a 1/3 cup measuring cup, and I'm just gonna fill this in. And my main goal is actually just to make everything in the same amount size. I mean, you know, you can totally use your judgment if you want it bigger, smaller, but I believe that size is pretty good enough. And then I'm just going to pour it in here, my hot oil. Using the back part of this, I'm just going to flatten this out like a pancake as much as I possibly can. Now after you flatten it down, you're going to leave it alone for a good 3 to 4 minutes. You want to get a nice golden brown color before you flip it on the other side, and I'm going to show you how that looks just in a few minutes. So stay tuned. Alright, so now I'm going to turn this around. Now I'd rather not crowd my pan, so be mindful of that. You might want to do 1 or 2 at a time. And I'm just going to wait until the other side reaches this particular color or just a tad bit more darker than the other side. And then after I make a few of them, we will be doing a taste test. So stick around. Hi guys, welcome back. Well, they're all done, my hash browns. Now what I did was, after I removed them from the pan, I put them on a plate with a lot of napkins or paper towels to soak up the excess oil. And then once you do that and it gets a little cooled off to the touch, you can just place them on your plate and you can get ready and eat them. Because look, you hear it just by breaking it off. It is crunchy. So good, so good. I don't know if you hear it, but it is tasty. It is crunchy. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. It's always a pleasure having you cook with me. Try this. Make this for your family. It's absolutely delicious and easy to put together. So until then, my friends, let me know if you want me to make anything. Leave your comments below. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.